For this warm-up, I just want you to practice with your ruler and drawing parallel lines that are 1 inch apart. So, with your sketchbook open to a full blank page, put your ruler right next to the spiral rings. Most important part when you begin measuring is that you start measuring at 0. So locate the 0 inch side on your ruler, not centimeters. Have that line with the 0 lined up at the top of your paper and mark every 1 inch. So that's really simple. Go down the ruler looking for the long lines next to the numbers and make a little horizontal mark, in this case, that continues that long line next to the numbers. You don't have to mark 0, and you don't have to mark at the bottom of the page where you should be right on the 11-inch mark. Then you always use 2 marks to make a perfectly straight line. So slide your ruler over near the other edge, double check that you have the 0 line lined up right at the top of the page, and repeat. So a long straight line that comes out of each long straight line that is attached to those big numbers indicating a whole inch. We don't have to worry about the fractions of an inch because we don't need it for our project. Now that we have 2 marks, they should be both exactly 1 inch from the top. So now you're going to turn your ruler or your paper, whatever's most comfortable for you. Line up the ruler next to both marks so they're both right on the edge of that ruler. Take your time to get it right and draw a nice straight line right through both marks across the entire page. If your line ends up like this, it's not right. So if I don't actually touch that mark, these are not parallel. This would be a bigger space, and this would be a correct space on the other end. So what you need to do is fix it. Do it over again. That's why I recommended on the first one that you take your time to line up the ruler in the right spot, and then you do need to hold it in place with your other hand. So this requires both of your hands to be engaged and involved in what you're doing. Otherwise, your ruler could move if you try to just leave it there. You do have to press your pencil against the ruler to get that nice straight line. Otherwise, it's obviously going to slide and your line is not going to be nice and straight and parallel. If your long straight line doesn't touch the mark, it is not correct. You don't get to just erase the mark and pretend like the mark was wrong. The mark was not wrong. If you used your ruler and you followed directions to measure those marks, they're right. So never doubt your measurement marks if you know what you're doing with measuring, and always just doubt the fact that maybe you didn't line your ruler up correctly. You need 5 of these as a minimum, but it'd be even better if you continued to practice all the way across the page so you have an entire page with some built-in 1 inch lines going perfectly parallel straight down the page.